one of my pet hates, and every boxing coach in the world, is people that drop their hands. So here are 9 amazing ways that you can use to make sure that your boxers keep their hands up and have good, tidy technique. Okay, the traditional method of doing this, and by far and away the best one, is actually sparring. The thing is though, obviously some people don't like being hit in the face, so I'm going to show you some alternatives to doing that. But here's how you do it if you're sparring. We just work on a conditioned spar of a 1-2-3 combination, and then I throw my shot back to make sure that the boxer gets their hands up again. There we are. So sparring is the most obvious way to do this. Okay, the one that you're most used to and obviously used to with this is if someone drops their hands when they're punching like this, that what you do is you tap like this. So what you want to do is to make sure that if you're doing this, that this movement is coming round like this, because that's how you're going to defend against a hook. Now that's going to work for the learners who are visual and kinesthetic, but not necessarily for those that are auditory. With an auditory learner, here's the next method. All you're going to do is you're going to shout, hands up, or get your hands up. Ready? 1, 2, hands up, hands up. 1, 2, up. So all you're going to do is you're going to shout there. Okay, so there's 2 methods you can use on the pads. Okay, here's another one. Use your bandage, attach it to something like this, and when I punch forward, what you do is you pull the other hand back like this, and that's going to get you to bring your hands back. A better and much more improved version of this is when you stand this way around. Also, make sure you're in your proper stance. Don't put your feet too close together. And as you push one hand out, the other hand is going to be pulled back to your face. And this is going to make you get your hands back nice and high. Here's another one of my favorites. On each of these things is a punishment written there. I put my hands here and I have to move around. And if this thing drops and falls on the floor there, that punishment's 10 burpees, that one's 10 press-ups. So don't drop the paper. Here's one that I love, really like this one, and what you do is this is if you're working particularly on one particular hand, well, maybe the backhand while throwing the jab. So you stick the bit of towel against your face like this, and then you've got to move while throwing your jab, and you keep that towel glued against the face. If they've got a habit of lifting the elbows too, you can always stick it under there to make sure that they keep the elbow there as well. You can have one here and one there. It's your choice, there's a couple of progressions there for you. Okay, here's a lovely one. This just needs a rope. This is 2 hand bandages stacked together like this. All you're going to do is they're going to move along and they've got to keep this hand touching the rope like this. They go on the other side obviously as well, and they go like this here. And they've got to keep that hand touching the rope. Now then what you can do is you can use this, a progression of this drill is when you move from side to side like this, and then they're moving here, and then they move there like that. Now the advantage of this is that it's teaching them to move their head off the center line while keeping their hands up. Now for those of you that are boxing coaches in the house who are watching this, you can also see where this is going to lead into how you can teach a cross-arm defense. So there are many progressions of this drill. It's a really, really simple one. Another method, using swimming sticks, swimming noodles. Now just be careful when you're holding these things. This thing's too long, and if I get punched in it, it's going to go straight into my face. So what you want is a noodle that's not going to reach your shoulder like this. So you want a shorter one than the one I'm holding now. So hit that. Doesn't hit me in the face. If they drop their hands, 1, 2, you can just give them a tap. You can also use this to tap to the elbows as well to make sure you do that. Now there's an improved version of that, and I prefer to use a pad. And I use 1 pad and 1 noodle. So what we're going to do is you're going to do a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like this, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to hit 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we can hit like that. So there's a couple of variations that you can use like that, but make sure that your noodles aren't too long or you'll get hit in the face. The final method, and one that I don't advocate because I don't like it, and I'll show you why in a minute, is the towel flick. Now the towel flick's a good move for getting someone to do to slip out of the way for a straight movement. Let me demonstrate like this. So slipping is good, but in terms of if someone drops their hands, 1, 2, 3, and then flicking like this, it doesn't work, and I'll show you why. Okay, if you're teaching your boxers, I don't like the towel flick because it teaches the wrong movement. It sets up an incorrect motor pattern. When I'm throwing my straight like this, I want my boxer to parry that blow. When I'm throwing a round movement, I want them to block like this and also to roll under. I want them to spot the difference between the movements. Let me show you with a noodle how that can be done. If I'm throwing a straight, I just do that. If I'm throwing round, do that. And we want our boxers to learn the difference between the two moves and the two movements so they replicate this when they're in the ring. The problem with this towel, watch its movement as it comes towards you. It doesn't do that. It doesn't really replicate that movement. It doesn't look real enough. So for that, for me, the towel is out. Teaching slips, yeah, it's okay. I don't mind it. I prefer the noodle to that. But there's some methods that you can use to help keep your boxers' hands high. Good luck, guys.